Watch Joe Rogan react as Tim Dillon hilariously tears apart celebrity space flights in JRE number 2307, calling them overhyped, shallow, and politically absurd.
Tim Dillon.
How are you?
I'm much better now that the ladies are back from space.
Thank you for having me. What were they up there, 10 minutes?
Well, it was very profound. I don't know if you've seen Katy Perry talk about it, but she's basically a guru now.
Yeah. What were her findings? That's my question.
Well,
what did she learn?
Daisy, which is super important. It shows you how quick the flight was. The dead daisy that's like snipped from its life source was still alive or still vibrant.
Yeah, and it's always
Shout out Daisy.
Wow.
Look at her nails. So pretty.
Now, so they go up there and they float for like 10 minutes?
At least.
And then they come down.
Let's not minimize this.
No, I know. It's a big deal.
Let's celebrate female astronauts.
And because they were united.
Because a lot of men astronauts, they have to go to school.
Right.
They have to learn how to be a pilot first. Then they have to join the Air Force or the Navy. And then they get appointed by NASA.
That's right.
And then they go to space. You know?
And there has been, that's the other thing, there has been female astronauts.
Let's not minimize this. Let's not minimize this.
Yeah,
what
like
they
I
did
think
is
there was a
extraordinary.
bitch stuck on a space station for a few months. That's terribly more impressive.
Let's not minimize this. No, the problem with that story is that she was rescued by a very awful person who wants to expose fraud and waste.
Yes. Did Musk rescue her?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Where's that in the news?
Oh, I didn't know
Those
that.
fucking people were stuck. The Boeing jet, the Skyline, whatever the fuck it is, the Boeing spaceship, wasn't working. They couldn't fix it.
Interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and by the way, Elon could have rescued them during the Biden administration. They didn't want to because of his open support for Trump. So they left those people up there. Yes. He's talked about it on my podcast. They left those people up there.
And they're just chilling.
No, they're dying.
Right.
It's like slow radiation poisoning. It's like getting 10 x-rays a day.
And they're
You're just slowly getting sapped of your life force out there in no gravity. Your bones are weakening. Did you see that lady's face when she came back?
She didn't look great.
Bro, something had happened, like her chin had grown. Like
she looked
her chin was extended and her hair had all turned gray.
She looked like she was sick.
She was sick.
Yeah.
You're dying up there, man.
That's crazy.
I had Commander Chris Hadfield on, and he was at one point in time the longest person that had been in space from, wasn't he? It's like he was there for like 6 months. And he was saying it was unbelievable, like how difficult it was to recover once you get back to Earth. He couldn't walk. It was just like a total vertigo. Like his whole body was like so not used to gravity. All of his bones were weak. All of his muscles were weak.
But these bitches seem fine, these ladies.
Well, for now. Let's not minimize. Let's not minimize the sacrifice they've made for a great nation. For the world, in fact. For the world. They're profoundly different. They're profoundly different now.
To show people. Well, it's inspiring.
That's what I'm saying.
It's inspiring. If a guy who's worth what, $1 trillion, several billion, 100 billion.
Yeah, just imagine the conspiracies if they didn't make it.
Yeah. Well, Pete, there's already people saying that they faked it, which I think is silly.
Well, I love those people,
but it's great.
Those are the people that think space is fake.
That's right. Yeah, but they're already people going, well, they faked it, and I'm like, I hope they fake something better than that. I hope. If they're faking stuff, and they probably are faking some stuff, God, I hope they're faking stuff that's better than that.
I think this is the confusion. I think the confusion is that they essentially got to the threshold of space. They did not get like way out there where re-entry is very traumatic. And it has like, if you see like those heat shields that they put all over those things, and if they break off on the re-entry, everybody dies.
Right.
That's because you're way out there and the amount of heat that gets generated as you're re-entering the atmosphere. I think they're essentially like on the border of the atmosphere. Let's see, how high did they go up there?
62 miles. They go above that line. It's called like the Kármán line or something.
So the space shuttle goes.
They went a little higher than that Rocket Man documentary. That guy who shot himself up in a rocket. They went like a few feet higher than that guy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. That guy drove by his grave on the way to Vegas when L.A. burned down.
Are they even like technically actually in space?
I think that's where it floats. That's the line.
I might go there. I might do that. I wouldn't go to space, but I might do the 80 miles.
Do that.
So 350 miles is the highest anyone has ever gone other than the Apollo astronauts?
62.
62
100
miles.
kilometers.
Okay, 62 miles ain't shit, dude. I drive that in an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's, by the way, I agree with you.
It's not that far. That's not even here to San Antonio. 62 miles ain't shit. But it is kind of technically space.
So they get up there and they look at the Earth?
Yeah, that's why like everybody's calling bullshit on the outside of the capsule.
Right.
That it wasn't like completely on fire and
Right.
like, destroyed. Just because they didn't go that high.
They didn't go that high.
That's all it is.
Right.
But they did go to space,
They
technically.
went to space and they lost gravity.
The funniest thing is they come back and you need a parachute to land.
Right.
Like at all the technology Elon has. Elon is catching rockets.
What could-
with robot arms. Clamp.
What could go wrong in something like that?
Oh, it could explode on the way up for
Oh.
sure. Yeah, the way up is not ensured that those things are definitely going to hold it together.
So
You-
that's the biggest risk.
yeah, you have these cannons filled with rocket fuel that are burning at like twice the what is the temperature of rocket fuel when it's hot? Is it like it's like close to the surface of the sun or some crazy shit. Like what's the actual temperature? So everything has to be contained while you have insane amounts of fuel burning every second. And huge plumes of flame, enormous thrust
Right.
to escape Earth's atmosphere.
Right.
You're just hoping all those O-rings and all the shit that blew up with the Challenger.
So it could have blown up.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Musk has openly said some of these are going to blow up when he's testing them. When
Right.
like when they would blow up, you're like, "Oh, Elon failed again." Like, no, we want it to fail because
Yeah.
we want to find out what is the threshold. Like, what? There's only
I
one way to
wonder
find
if
out.
all of them were they? You think they were like prepared to die? No.
Katy Perry was prepared to die.
Yeah,
That's why
she in
brought
her
the daisy.
eyes something's off.
She looked like a soldier.
Something's off with her.
I don't know. It's good.
What about that?
And everybody dies.
Right.
Right. So they have to open outward.
Right.
Right. So the pressure would keep them shut. So generally, like there's like a seal, and it's really kind of crazy. Like I have a friend of mine, very wealthy businessman, who brings me over his house the other day. He goes, "I want to show you something," and he shows me this diagram. He said, "This is from the 1950s, and this is the blueprint for the recreation UFO that they made when they tried to back engineer the one that they found at Roswell."
And they had this was a diagram.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. And it had a crank handle like a submarine door, you know.
And they
So-
were trying to replicate a craft that had landed, crashed.
Yes. Yeah, he thinks they did.
Wow.
He doesn't think it's a try. He said this is the blueprint because it had the actual. By the way, the exact generator in the center of it that Bob Lazar described
Yeah.
in 1989 when he worked at Area S4.
What layer of the government do you think is working on projects like that? Like, is it all the DARPA people?
I think it's people that are completely disconnected from congressmen, senators, presidents.
Right.
It's all
Right.
deep state. Because it's
Right.
all
They
people that
have to be like, they probably belong to an agency without a name.
Well, there's probably a bunch of those. And,
Right.
And when it comes to this kind of stuff, like we already know now because of Doge that there was money that was going with no receipts, billions and billions of dollars that was just flying out with no receipts. They have no idea where it went. And Elon openly said, if this was a public company, it would be delisted and
Yeah.
the people who ran it would go to prison. But because it's the government, you're like, oh, I don't know what we did. We just, they have no
Do you
receipts.
think
That could be going to it.
you think they'll bring charges against anyone for fraud?
That's the worry about disclosure.
'Cause
And
that's
I
what-
think that's what's holding it back.
I think people needs concrete stuff.
Yeah. You want to
know.
see concrete? Let's hear Katy Perry talk about
Right.
going to space. Here, I'm going to send you one.